My name is Michele Shilvock Lannon, and I have been in the field of autism for over 15 years. And my start is a little bit unique than a lot of other consultants in that I used to be a social worker. So my undergrad is in social work and my master's is in special ed with a focus in autism and ABA. And when I did my undergrad in social work, I actually spent the early years of my practice working at a child development center, supporting families who just had children diagnosed with anything from autism to CP to a variety of special needs. So I bring a unique lens to the field of autism because I have this background in this understanding for the patience and empathy that families are really needing in the early stages of diagnosis. They're feeling lost and really unsure about the direction to go and not feeling they have that connection with any one person until they meet a behavior consultant. Unfortunately, social workers who are their first point of contact tend to not have all the information that is needed to guide parents to what's best practice. Why do we want to treat autism? Because there's so much potential that's there to be unlocked, and we want to be able to give these folks the best chance possible through teaching practices we know through research are going to help them. Wanting to start in this field of autism, if you are a counselor or a psychology major, one of the things I think is so important is networking and educating yourself. School will teach you how to be best in your field around counseling and psychology, but they won't necessarily teach you about what's current in what's offered in the field of autism if that's your area of focus. It's going to be your job to do due diligence to connect with folks like the Autism Society of BC and find out what's going on. What do families need to know? What have I learned in the last 15 years? Learning never stops. The field of autism is forever changing, and I need to continue to learn. And in understanding that, it's understanding possibilities are endless for our children that we work with. I want families to be able to think big and dream big because potential is there for their child when they have big dreams. I've worked with a 3-year-old who was nonverbal who just went to Spain with her class at 16 without her family. And at 3, who knew she'd be able to do that? Or a young man who still today at 15 runs an intensive ABA program, goes to school and has his own t-shirt business. How about the idea of a young man being able to take a bus by himself? He wants to go to the mall? Then let's teach him how to ride a bus. And guess what? That's a young man who rides the bus by himself now and can go anywhere he wants. He doesn't rely on others for that. But that was about belief. Everybody in his circle believed he could learn this, and in believing it, he was able to be taught and learn it. Commitment is key, and commitment for families when it comes to their child's treatment doesn't stop when their child's 6. Unlocking potential will hit at every milestone of their learning, from young child to adolescent to teenager to adult. And in that, we talk about generalization. Learning's not just one-to-one with an interventionist in your home. Learning is in the community. So a lot of what we do is work with school-age children so that the schools can better understand that teaching is not just academics, it's socialization. It's an integral part of everybody's development. If you're going to have a job, you need to know how to talk in the lunchroom, and you need to know how to sit through an interview. And to do that, you need to know how to play with kids on the playground. So, when children enter school, many schools will think the teaching has stopped. That happened in the home, that happened in a center, but really it's only just begun. We've been working with children till 5 or 6 years of age. Now the big teaching starts because it's generalized teaching. They're learning in schools, and we need to build that bridge between home and school. So we're wanting to teach everyone from the principal to the integration support teacher to the teachers and the aides. We want everybody to be knowledgeable trainers to be able to work with the folks we work with. Part of commitment to your child's treatment is also about buy-in. And when I work with families, I talk a lot about the importance of every individual who's going to be working with your child at any stage of their life. You want buy-in. I wish buy-in was easy and everybody in schools would buy in all the time. Not always the case. I have a young man who, in high school, the school didn't see the potential that we saw and his family saw and his community saw. They just wanted him to learn to grocery shop and go to the grocery store with the other special needs kids. But the commitment commitment his family had to have the school learn. We trained all the teachers to understand and buy in to this young man's potential. And now, instead of being at a grocery store, he's learning how to have conversations with his peers and invite his peers to join him in games of bocce on the field at lunch. How amazing is that? And never give up. We have to never assume anything and expect the best potential out of everyone we work with at any age. Models for the future, I think we've done a nice job of showing what's potential in the early intervention, and we're starting to work with schools now to help them understand, but the piece that's still missing is that transition piece, bridging those teen years to adult years and getting these individuals ready for their potential in the workforce. We want to see everybody be able to be an active member of their community and employable to their level and capability. We need to start thinking about job readiness at 14 and 15 years of age and seeing adult services that aren't just about caring for these individuals, but having life coaches and job coaches so that they're learning to be as independent as they can and as active in the community as they can. The teaching never stops because the potential never stops. We're always unlocking the future abilities of the children and adults we're working with.